Welcome to the law offices of Chris M. Ingram's Immigration Podcast. Today, we are excited to continue with part 2 of our brand new 4-part series on the O-1A visa. The O-1A visa is for senior professionals and academics seeking to work in the U.S., so let's dive in. Before I get started, we'd like to thank attorney Chris M. Ingram and his team, who have worked very hard in researching and preparing the material for this podcast. So let's get started. Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive. Last time, we began our journey into the O-1A visa, really unpacking its core purpose, recognizing extraordinary ability in fields like sciences, education, business, and athletics. We talked about how this visa hinges on sustained acclaim, and why it's, well, a fantastic option for everyone, from seasoned professionals to even recent graduates. We covered the first 2 key qualification categories: significant awards and memberships in esteemed organizations.
That's right. And it's really crucial to remember that these categories aren't just check boxes you tick off. They're pieces of a larger, intricate puzzle, each demonstrating a different facet of your pattern of excellence. Today, we're taking you deeper into the next set of categories, building on that foundation of recognized talent, all based on the insightful legal research provided by attorney Chris Ingram and his team. This segment of their study focuses on how external validation from media, peer recognition through judging, and original innovation can truly solidify your O-1A petition, making your case undeniable.
That sets the stage perfectly. And, to illustrate these concepts, let's maybe imagine our listener, Sarah. She's a brilliant young biomedical engineer. Early in her career, maybe, but already making waves. As we navigate today's categories, maybe think about how each piece of Sarah's professional puzzle could contribute to building her extraordinary ability case. Okay, first up, let's jump right into category 3. So the third way you can demonstrate extraordinary ability involves getting others to talk about you. And I don't mean just casual mentions, but published material in professional or major trade publications or major media specifically relating to your work. This category is really all about third-party validation, right? An objective indicator that your influence ripples beyond your immediate circle. It's about how your expertise, your contributions, your achievements are seen and acknowledged by a broader audience, basically demonstrating that your impact isn't just felt internally within your company or institution, but resonates broadly and externally.
Exactly. What's truly fascinating here is how this category sort of flips the script. It moves beyond you simply listing your achievements to others, independently acknowledging your impact. Our attorneys emphasize that this isn't about self-promotion or, paid endorsements. It's about unbiased, independent voices recognizing your expertise and contributions. It shows your work is inspiring, informing, maybe even challenging others, reaching a broad or deep audience. This isn't your own press release. It's a journalist, a critic, or an industry publication taking note because what you've done is genuinely newsworthy. This raises an important question for USCIS. How does your work influence the public discourse or professional standards? Is it shaping conversations, driving innovation, setting new benchmarks within your field? The stronger that external recognition, the clearer your case for extraordinary ability becomes because it signifies your prominence.
Okay, so for our seasoned professionals listening, this might seem, well, pretty intuitive. Aim for the big names, right? Our legal research highlights classic examples like feature stories in the Wall Street Journal on your business innovations, or maybe Scientific American profiling your research breakthroughs. Crucially, though, it has to discuss your work substantially, not just a passing mention in a roundup. What does this depth of coverage mean for someone at the peak of their career?
It means demonstrating that your impact is widely acknowledged, not just by your immediate peers, but by a broader industry or, the public sphere. If a major publication dedicates significant space to your work, maybe a full article, an in-depth interview, or a prominent section, it unequivocally validates your top-tier status. It's an external objective stamp of approval, showing that your influence is not just internal to your organization, but recognized by a broader expert audience. Think about an athlete. Our researchers note this could be something as impactful as a Sports Illustrated cover story, and not just about their performance, but specifically detailing how they revolutionize training methods or their sports strategy. That level of in-depth coverage shows real, lasting impact that transcends mere athletic prowess. It gets into leadership or innovation within the field.
Right.
This demonstrates that your contributions are deemed essential or transformative by independent, reputable media.
And what about recent graduates, like our hypothetical Sarah? Someone who might not have a decade of Fortune 500 features under their belt. It's easy for a young professional to feel like, well, they haven't had the time to build this kind of media profile. But our legal team study offers valuable avenues, right, for that early recognition.
Absolutely. The legal research points to some perhaps surprising opportunities. Think about university press releases. These are often picked up by local or industry-specific news outlets, or features in alumni magazines that circulate among influential professionals. Even conference spotlights can be crucial. Imagine Sarah, our EdTech graduate, featured in an article in Education Week because of her innovative teaching app that's already making waves in pilot programs. Or maybe a computer science graduate whose open source project, perhaps a novel data compression algorithm, is featured on a prominent tech blog like Ars Technica or TechCrunch. Why? Because it solves a significant industry problem. This shows a rapid ascent to influence, even early in a career. It indicates that their contributions, even though they might be recent, are already significant enough to capture attention. Attention from specialized publications or media within their field, it signals emerging extraordinary ability.
I see.
The key is demonstrating that even at an early stage, your work is generating interest and discussion beyond your immediate academic or project circle because of its inherent value and innovation.
That clarifies the scope. Now, does it have to be traditional print? What about the vast world of online media? With so much information shared digitally, it's a critical question for many applicants. People might have more digital mentions than old newspaper clippings. How does our legal team view that distinction?
Yeah, good question. Our attorneys confirm that online media absolutely counts, provided it's reputable. Think of a feature on a startup founder's groundbreaking pivot in TechCrunch, or an in-depth analysis of a scientific discovery on a well-regarded industry blog like Stat News in biotech. What's crucial here, though, is that you provide full details. The title of the piece, the date it was published, the author, and importantly, its circulation or viewership metrics.
Ah, the metrics.
Right. Yes, this is vital evidence for our attorneys to present. It allows them to demonstrate the reach and credibility of the publication. The audience matters too. Major general media reaches broadly, while professional publications reach deeply into a specific industry. Both are valuable. USCIS, that's the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, looks at factors like editorial oversight, a dedicated staff, a consistent publication schedule for online sources, not just a high follower count on social media.
Okay.
So a viral social media post probably won't cut it on its own, but an article by a reputable journalist on a recognized platform, that likely will.
Our legal research expands on this, mentioning podcasts or videos. That seems like a more modern, maybe more accessible way for many people to get their message out, especially in dynamic fields like business or the arts. How are those evaluated?
Yes, podcasts and videos can count if they are transcribed.
Transcribed, okay.
Right. This means that the content of the podcast or video must be verifiable in written form, so our attorneys can clearly present your specific quotes or the discussion around your work. So, for example, if you were a featured guest on a leading industry podcast, the transcript of that interview would be valuable evidence. However, attorney Chris Ingram's research notes that traditional print or reputable digital articles are, generally strongest.
Why is that?
Because they often come with established journalistic standards and clearer circulation numbers. It's just easier to verify the prestige and reach sometimes. But the key, regardless of format, is to gather these clippings or links and, again, document viewership metrics, listenership numbers, or engagement statistics where available. This directly demonstrates reach and impact, showing that your insights are not just shared, but consumed and valued by a relevant audience. For instance, a video of a keynote speech you gave at a major industry conference. If it garnered tens of thousands of views and positive comments, that would be strong evidence, especially with the transcript.
Got it. So what are some common pitfalls in this category, and how can someone proactively build this kind of evidence if they don't have it already? It feels like something that just happens to extraordinary people, but are there ways to maybe encourage it?
Well, a significant challenge, as our team points out, is ensuring independence. Self-promoted pieces, articles you wrote yourself for your company blog, or paid advertisements generally won't count.
Right, no self-promotion.
Exactly. The validation needs to come from an unbiased third party, meaning you didn't pay for the coverage and it wasn't published by your own company's marketing department. A common pitfall here is submitting, say, numerous articles from obscure blogs or personal websites. USCIS prioritizes the reach and editorial rigor of the publication over sheer volume. One feature in a major industry journal can easily outweigh a dozen local newspaper snippets or niche online mentions.
Quality over quantity.
Precisely. This category often reveals cultural impact. For example, how a scientist's work influences policy debates, directly tying into national interests and why it matters to the U.S. It shows that your work isn't just academically interesting, but has real-world implications that capture public or industry attention.
That makes sense. But can you actually generate this media? I mean, beyond just waiting for someone to notice you, can you actively pursue opportunities to be featured? For someone like Sarah, for instance.
Yes, absolutely.
So why did you choose the law offices of Chris M. Ingram as your attorney?
Honestly, they made it feel like I was never on my own.
Every time I had a question, someone actually answered. They cared.
We never felt alone. The videos felt like we had someone with us the whole way. Every form, every question, they had a video that explained it.
It made the process so easy.
Our tutorials are designed to get you over the finishing line, and after watching them, you are reassured that you have completed that section correctly.
At the law offices of Chris M. Ingram, our mission is to support you. Our instructional videos will guide you every step of the way. So join us.
Our legal research suggests very proactive strategies. Seasoned professionals can pitch compelling stories to journalists. They can use services like HRO Help a Reporter Out, which connects journalists with expert sources, or through industry-specific forums where reporters look for insights. You might approach a journalist who covers your niche with a specific newsworthy angle about your innovation.
Okay.
For graduates like Sarah, leveraging university media offices to highlight thesis work or groundbreaking student projects is a smart move. These offices often have existing relationships with local or specialized media outlets, but the content must always focus on your expertise. For instance, an article titled, "How Dr. Sear's Algorithm Revolutionized Early Childhood Education." That clearly links the coverage to your specific professional contributions.
Rather than just a general profile piece.
Exactly. It demonstrates how you're influencing broader professional standards.
And what about international recognition? Does being featured in media outside the U.S. count? And if so, how much weight does it carry in an O-1A petition?
Oh, international media adds significant weight. Think of a BBC piece on a business leader's global strategies, or a feature in a prominent European scientific journal discussing your research. This demonstrates that your extraordinary ability transcends national borders and has a global impact, which is highly valued. Metrics matter a lot here too. Articles with high shares or comments or videos with viral views demonstrate tangible reach and engagement, regardless of their geographic origin. Our attorneys do caution against using outdated coverage, though. Prioritize recent pieces to show sustained acclaim, proving that your influence is current and ongoing.
Sustained acclaim, right. That keeps coming up.
It's key. The relevance and impact of the coverage should be clearly demonstrated, regardless of where it was published.
Here's a perfect example of what you're describing and where our legal research really shone a light on creative approaches. A case where a client's TEDx talk transcript actually counted as media. Why? Because it was linked to viral views. That's a powerful example of how creative thinking and strong documentation can support your case, right? Demonstrating impact even in a non-traditional format.
Indeed. That example perfectly illustrates the principle, demonstrating reach and impact through non-traditional yet widely consumed platforms. It's about showing the buzz and influence your work generates. And this category also synergizes beautifully with other criteria. Often, winning a major award will naturally spark press coverage.
Ah, the cycle.
Exactly, creating a beneficial cycle of visibility that reinforces your extraordinary ability. An award validates your achievement, and the resulting media coverage provides the third-party validation this category requires. It strengthens your overall O-1A petition significantly. So you see how these elements begin to build on each other.
That's a great deep dive into Category 3. Before we move on, a quick question we often get. If I have lots of local news articles about me, but nothing major, does that still help?
That's an excellent question, and yeah, it's a common challenge. While local news can provide some evidence of recognition, our attorneys advise that USCIS really prioritizes national or international publications, or highly specialized trade journals relevant to your field. Why? Because they demonstrate a broader or deeper recognition of your extraordinary ability. A flood of minor local articles might show community involvement, but often fall short of proving national or international acclaim.
So it's about the level of influence.
Precisely. The key is to demonstrate that your influence has truly gone beyond your immediate locale or niche. If you only have local coverage, you'd likely need to pair it with very strong evidence in other categories to compensate. It's about quality and reach over sheer quantity here.
Okay, let's transition then. From being the subject of media attention to becoming an evaluator yourself. This next category feels like a total shift, doesn't it? You're not the one being written about. Instead, you're doing the writing, or rather the judging. This category focuses on evidence of your participation as a judge of others' work in the same or an allied field. It's about demonstrating that your expertise is so widely recognized that you are called upon to evaluate the work of others, effectively setting standards or identifying excellence within your discipline.
This category truly flips the script, establishing you as an expert capable of evaluating your peers. Our researchers highlight that if others seek your opinion, trust your judgment, and invite you to formally assess the contributions of others, well, it's a powerful testament to your authority and standing at the top of your field. It reflects an elevation beyond just doing the work to assessing and shaping the work of others. It proves that you possess a deep understanding of the intricacies and benchmarks within your discipline, making you uniquely qualified to appraise the contributions of others. This is a clear indicator that your peers view you as a leader and a standard bearer, someone whose judgment carries significant weight.
For experienced professionals, this seems pretty straightforward. They've likely accumulated years of experience, built a reputation, making them natural candidates for judging roles on prestigious panels. Can you give us some solid examples from the legal research?
Yeah, it often comes naturally for them. Our attorneys cite examples like serving on grant review panels for major national bodies. Think the National Science Foundation or the National Institutes of Health. You're deciding which groundbreaking scientific research gets funded, a decision that impacts the future of an entire field.
Huge responsibility.
Absolutely. Or judging business plan competitions at prestigious international events like the World Economic Forum in Davos. There, you're evaluating the next big startups that could reshape global markets. For coaching legends in athletics, it could be judging Olympic selections, determining who represents the nation at the highest level of sport. These are clear indicators of high-level peer recognition, where your judgment directly impacts significant outcomes in your field, demonstrating trust in your expertise.
And for our recent graduates, like Sarah again, who might be thinking, how on earth do I judge anything when I'm just starting my career? It might feel like an impossible bar to clear without decades of experience.
Well, our legal team assures us that opportunities abound, especially in academia and emerging fields. Think about roles like peer reviewing for student journals. You're critically assessing the research of fellow students, or even those more senior, providing valuable feedback before publication. Or judging hackathons, where you're evaluating innovative tech solutions developed by teams under pressure. Even certain teaching assistant, TA roles that involve evaluating student substantive work beyond just grading papers can count if you're assessing projects, presentations, or research against specific criteria.
Interesting.
Sarah, as a biomedical engineering graduate, for instance, might review abstracts for undergraduate research conferences, or act as a technical reviewer for an open-source medical device project. The key is always to document your actual involvement invitations to judge, your specific feedback or scoring sheets, and the prestige of the event itself. This demonstrates a rapid ascent to authority within your specific niche.
What kind of documentation is needed then, and how formal does this judging have to be? Does it require a formal letter on official letterhead, or can it be more informal, like emails?
Good question. Attorney Chris Ingram's research indicates that while formal roles with official invitations and certificates of participation are strongest, documented informal participation can also suffice, provided it clearly outlines your role as a judge or evaluator and its impact.
Okay.
This could include emails confirming your involvement, public listings of judges, or even specific score sheets you completed. For example, seasoned educators might judge curriculum awards for a national educational association, providing detailed evaluations of innovative teaching frameworks. Graduates could participate in peer reviews for open-source projects on platforms like GitHub, where their critiques directly influence the quality and direction of the code, and their contributions are publicly recorded. This experience significantly builds credibility, especially when combined with your publications, as it demonstrates a comprehensive engagement with your field, both as a creator and an evaluator.
What should we avoid when thinking about this category? It seems like there's a fine line between offering, casual advice and actually judging.
That's a critical distinction. Our researchers emphasize avoiding overclaiming casual advice as judging. Simply giving a colleague informal feedback on a presentation or offering general mentorship, that doesn't count.
Right.
It needs to be a structured role where you are formally evaluating others' work against established criteria and where your assessment has weight and consequences. For example, if you're on a committee deciding which grant proposals get funded or which startups win a competition, that's judging. If you're just giving your opinion informally, that typically won't qualify.
Makes sense.
This category is actually a great entry point for emerging talents like Sarah. It shows how quickly they've risen to evaluator status within their field, moving from being a contributor to someone whose opinion shapes future contributions.
So how can someone actively build this kind of experience if they don't have it already? It sounds like something you get invited to, but can you actively seek it out?
You definitely can. The legal research suggests proactive volunteering and networking. Professionals can volunteer to judge at major industry conferences like CES for consumer electronics or the Game Developers Conference for gaming. They can also seek out opportunities through professional associations related to their field. These often have awards or competitions that need judges. Graduates might find opportunities through platforms like Kaggle competitions, which involve evaluating code or data science solutions submitted by others. Evidence can include score sheets you filled out, official thank you letters acknowledging your contribution, or even a public listing of judges on an event website.
Rome, 20,000 spectators, one epic battle, two warriors, one destiny. But before they can fight for glory, they must face the real challenge, getting their visa approved.
If you want to enter, show me your visa.
They should have went to the law offices of Chris M. Ingram. They are very good.
Yes, I've heard the same. They handled my visa in no time.
Off to the Lions pit.
Come with me, boys. It's dinner time.
Because even legends need the offices of Chris M. Ingram.
Are you looking for a visa? Why don't you get your free consultation on the Breakthrough website? We're with you every step of the way.
In education, judging student innovation fairs counts if it's tied to your specific expertise and involves a formal evaluation process of their projects against clear standards.
So networking helps here too.
Absolutely. Networking within your professional community and expressing interest in these types of roles can open doors.
What about the scale of the judging? Does that matter? Is judging a local competition as strong as a national one for O-1A purposes?
Yes, the scale matters significantly. Our researchers note that national panels weigh heavier than local ones, as they demonstrate broader and more prestigious recognition of your expertise. To give you an example from our legal research, one client, a mid-career engineer, significantly bolstered their case by judging patents for a national tech association. This role, directly linking to their own inventions, showcased their authority and intellectual property at a national level. This category really reflects reciprocity. Giving back your expertise and helping shape the field clearly elevates your status. For international applicants, virtual judging expands access and opportunity. It allows you to participate in prestigious global evaluations from anywhere, as long as it's well documented with clear evidence of your role and the significance of the event.
Right.
USCIS looks for evidence that your judgment is valued by those in the upper echelons of your field.
So what does this all mean for the bigger picture? How does being a judge fit into the overall narrative of extraordinary ability that we're trying to build for an O-1A applicant?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, you should always tie your judging experience to its field impact. How did your critiques shape emerging research or practice? How did your decisions influence the direction of an industry? This demonstrates not just your knowledge, but your active role in defining standards and guiding progress within your field. It shows you're not just performing at an extraordinary level yourself, but you're also influencing and elevating the standards of others in your discipline. That's a hallmark of true leadership and preeminence.
So it shows you're a thought leader.
Exactly. Someone whose insights are sought after to differentiate between good and truly outstanding work.
That's an incredible insight into Category 4. One final hypothetical for you. What if I only judged a single major competition? Is that enough, or do I need a pattern of judging?
That's a fair question. Well, a single, highly prestigious judging role, especially at a national or international level, can be powerful. Our attorneys generally advise that a pattern of judging is stronger, or involvement in multiple, even smaller, but still reputable judging activities. USCIS likes to see sustained acclaim, remember. Consistent judging rules reinforce that.
Right. Sustained.
However, if that one major competition was truly significant, say you judged Nobel Prize nominations or a major national innovation award, it could still carry immense weight on its own. It always comes back to the impact and prestige of the event you judged and specific contributions you made as a judge. It's about demonstrating your recognized authority, not just accumulating checkboxes.
Okay, let's unpack this next one because this feels like the very heart of extraordinary ability for many people, especially innovators. This category focuses on original, scientific, scholarly, or business-related contributions of major significance. This is where it really gets compelling, isn't it? Because it's about true innovation, not just, incremental improvements or doing your job well. It's about demonstrating that you haven't just performed your job well, but you've genuinely advanced your field in a way that truly matters, leaving a lasting mark.
This is indeed the powerhouse category for innovators. A cornerstone for many O-1A petitions, as Chris Ingram's research describes. It's about demonstrating that you've made major leaps forward, not minor tweaks to existing ideas. This raises that important question again for USCIS. Has you truly moved the needle in your field? Has your work led to fundamental changes, new paradigms, or significant advancements that wouldn't have happened without your unique contribution? It directly anchors many O-1A petitions because it shows your direct value to the U.S. in terms of innovation, economic growth, scientific advancement, or cultural enrichment. This category demands robust evidence of real, tangible impact that resonates widely within your discipline and beyond.
So for experienced professionals, what would qualify as a major contribution? It's easy to say major, but what does that look like in concrete terms for someone with a long-established career?
Our team's legal research lists several key indicators. We're talking about patents that have been widely adopted or licensed, indicating broad industry acceptance and commercial value.
Okay.
Or groundbreaking studies that have fundamentally changed how a field operates, leading to new research directions or practices. We also see business strategies that demonstrably shifted markets, setting new industry standards or creating entirely new economic sectors. Think of a biotech leader whose new drug protocol saves countless lives, transforming patient care. Or a business executive whose sustainable supply chain model was adopted by Fortune 500 companies, leading to widespread environmental and economic benefits across an industry. These are concrete, impactful examples that showcase not just novelty, but profound influence and a measurable positive outcome. It's about creating something that has a ripple effect across the industry or society, demonstrating preeminence.
And what about our graduates like Sarah, just starting out? Can a thesis, a capstone project, or even an early career initiative be considered a major contribution, especially when they're still relatively new to the professional world and don't have years of industry-shifting experience?
Absolutely, if it's truly impactful. Attorney Chris Ingram's study suggests a published algorithm with numerous citations, for example. That indicates its widespread use and influence in the academic or tech community, even if developed during a master's or PhD program. Or a business plan that leads directly to a funded startup, showing real-world economic potential and successful execution. In education, it could be a new curriculum framework that Sarah developed and successfully piloted, which is then adopted by multiple institutions because of its pedagogical effectiveness and measurable student outcomes.
I see.
It's not about the job title or the years of experience, but the demonstrable impact. Like that example of an athletics trainer's data-driven program reducing injuries league-wide across a sport. Even if developed early in their career, that clearly shows major significance by improving athlete safety and performance on a broad scale. The key is to prove the impact, regardless of the applicant's career stage.
How do we actually measure significance for these contributions, though? It sounds a bit subjective, doesn't it? Especially for cutting-edge work without immediate clear-cut metrics or something in a very niche academic field.
That's a fair point. The legal research from our attorneys emphasizes that significance is measured by concrete, objective indicators whenever possible. This could include widespread adoption of your invention or methodology. Verifiable citation counts for your scholarly work in academic databases like Google Scholar or Web of Science, or clear economic value derived from your business, innovations, revenue generated, market share increased, costs saved for companies.
Okay, so numbers help.
Numbers definitely help. For instance, a patent that is licensed globally by major corporations, or quantifiable revenue generated from your inventions or strategies. Graduates might point to conference presentations that directly led to significant collaborations, maybe research funding for subsequent projects, or even the immediate commercialization of their ideas.
Yeah.
That demonstrates the recognized utility of their work.
Yeah.
It's about showing that your contribution moved beyond being just a theoretical concept to having a tangible, measurable influence on your field, or even on society at large. For highly niche or cutting-edge work without immediate commercial metrics, well, major significance often hinges on demonstrating how your work enables future innovation or creates new market segments, even if direct financial impact isn't yet quantifiable. Focus on first-of-its-kind and foundational aspects, supported by strong expert letters.
What kind of support is needed beyond just listing the contribution then? If I say I invented something amazing, what else do I need to prove it's major?
Expert letters are absolutely crucial here. They should come from luminaries in your field, independent, well-regarded authorities who can explain why your contribution is considered major.
Not just colleagues then.
Ideally, independent experts who can provide an objective assessment. These letters need to provide detailed context and specific examples of its impact, explaining how your work has fundamentally changed or advanced the field. They can also align your contribution with U.S. national priorities, like advancements in AI, renewable energy, public health, national security, showing how your work directly benefits the country. Our researchers highlight that this category is flexible for interdisciplinary work, but it requires robust proof to overcome any potential subjectivity. You need to provide concrete evidence that your contribution stands out, demonstrating that it's not merely competent work, but truly groundbreaking and impactful, validated by those who understand its importance.
So how do you make that proof concrete and undeniable? Moving from qualitative descriptions to quantitative impact, this seems like the biggest hurdle for applicants sometimes.
Yeah, it often is. Attorney Chris Ingram's legal research stresses the paramount importance of quantification where possible. For example, stating, developed software that increased operational efficiency by 50% for 100 enterprise clients is far more powerful than just saying develop software.
Right, specifics.
Exactly. Professionals can draw from career milestones, showing how their contributions led to significant revenue growth, cost savings, market share increases, or widespread user adoption for their organizations.
They said my EB1 needed more categories. I can't even dock. What am I going to do?
I need to find the right lawyer that can navigate me through this crisis. I need my EB1 so my new life can begin. These lawyers are amazing. They are walking me through every questions, making sure I don't miss a thing. Thanks to the law offices of Chris M. Ingram, I'm cleared to land. But my career is gonna take off.
Houston. He got his visa.
Need help with your visa? Book your free consultation now at www.breakthroughusa.com and let us take care of you.
While graduates might not have decades of corporate data, they can highlight their leadership in impactful group projects where their specific contributions led to measurable outcomes. Like a prototype that achieved a specific performance benchmark that was previously thought impossible. In business, a novel marketing strategy that went viral and significantly increased brand awareness or sales, or in a new product design that captured a significant market share. That counts as a major contribution because its impact is clear and widespread. The how much and how many are key.
The legal research really emphasizes expert letters for this category, perhaps more so than for others. Why are they so critical here, beyond just general support?
Yes, they are absolutely crucial because major significance, as we said, can be subjective without strong external validation. Our researchers recommend aiming for, say, 5-7 letters from luminaries in your field, individuals with established reputations and deep understanding of your industry or discipline. These letters should specifically detail the novelty, influence, and broad applicability of your work. They should describe why your contribution is unique, how it has advanced the field, and its specific impact. For instance, if you developed a new surgical technique, an expert letter might detail how that technique has become widely adopted and has improved patient outcomes, maybe citing statistics. The challenge, as our legal team often points out, is truly proving major significance, which again leans on metrics like patent citations, industry adoption rates, or quantifiable user adoption. These letters act as authoritative endorsements, giving critical weight and context to your claims of extraordinary contribution. They explain the so what to USCIS.
Here's a truly compelling example that our legal research provided. A graduate whose app for remote learning during pandemics was adopted by multiple school districts. That clearly demonstrates timely and major impact, right? That's a fantastic, real-world example of how a graduate like Sarah can meet this high bar, showing immediate and widespread relevance.
It truly is. That specific example showcases how a contribution can be both recent and incredibly impactful, especially when it addresses a pressing societal need with a scalable solution. This category often anchors O-1A petitions precisely because it directly showcases the value you bring to the U.S. by contributing to its scientific, economic, or educational advancement. It highlights why your presence is beneficial and necessary, demonstrating that you are an innovator whose work has real-world consequences and broad applicability. For example, Sarah's biomedical engineering work might lead to a novel diagnostic tool that drastically reduces healthcare costs or improves early disease detection, directly benefiting U.S. healthcare.
So what does this all mean for building a strong overall O-1A case, especially when you consider all these categories together? How do they interweave?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, you'll often see how earlier categories, like awards, stem from these significant contributions. It creates a unified and compelling story.
Ah, the synergy again.
Yes, exactly. For instance, a major contribution you made might earn you a prestigious award. That award then naturally generates media coverage about your breakthrough. And that visibility might lead to invitations for you to judge others' work in your field. This interconnectedness builds a powerful, synergistic narrative of sustained excellence that is far more convincing than just isolated achievements.
Right.
For those in hybrid fields, like biobusiness or computational linguistics, our attorneys advise framing your contributions to fit multiple angles and demonstrate broad impact across both scientific and commercial spheres. Graduates, like Sarah, should meticulously document their open source code, prototypes, or any early impactful projects as they happen. These can become crucial evidence down the line.
Good advice.
For seasoned professionals, highlight the scalability of your work and how it influenced policy, industry standards, or even national initiatives. This depth, synergy, and interconnectedness are what ensure your case stands out, painting a comprehensive and undeniable picture of your extraordinary ability. #, concluding thoughts up.
Wow. Okay. We've really covered a lot today. We've taken a deep dive into categories 3, 4, and 5 of the O-1A visa requirements, added powerful layers to your qualification toolkit with those expanded examples and practical tips from attorney Chris Ingram and his dedicated team. We moved from the critical importance of third-party validation in the media to the profound authority you demonstrate by judging your peers' work, and finally, to the groundbreaking impact of your original contributions.
Indeed. We've seen how third-party validation through media, the recognition of your expertise as a judge, and the profound impact of your original contributions can collectively demonstrate extraordinary ability. What's fascinating here, I think, is how these seemingly distinct categories interweave to form a cohesive narrative of excellence, making your profile truly undeniable. They don't exist in silos. Rather, they reinforce each other, building a multifaceted picture of someone who isn't just good at what they do, but truly extraordinary and influential within their field, contributing meaningfully to U.S. advancement.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? As you think about your own career trajectory and potential for an O-1A visa, consider not just what you've achieved, but how others perceive and value your contributions. Are you actively seeking opportunities for your work to be recognized externally? Are you leveraging your expertise to evaluate and shape the work of others? And most importantly, are you documenting the true, quantifiable significance of your innovations?
Yeah, and this raises an important question, I think. Beyond simply accumulating achievements, how strategically are you positioning your work and influence? How are you ensuring it is externally recognized and documented in ways that highlight its major significance to your field? Is your professional journey not just a series of accomplishments, but a compelling narrative of extraordinary impact waiting to be told? Consider how your work directly benefits the United States, whether through scientific advancement, economic growth, or cultural enrichment. The most successful O-1A petitions tell a story of unique value that transcends a simple resume.
Great points. Next time, we'll complete the framework by covering the final 3 categories: authorship of scholarly articles, employment in critical roles, and high remuneration, before moving on to some compelling case studies. Thank you so much for being with us today. We hope you gained a lot from this discussion. Please subscribe to or follow this channel, as it can significantly increase the reach of this podcast and help us help more people. We'd greatly appreciate your support. Leave us a comment if you can. Also, follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and Instagram, where we're growing rapidly thanks to our social media team. We would also like to thank attorney Chris Ingram and his dedicated team once again for researching and preparing this material for our presentation. If you, a friend, or a family member would like a free consultation, you can visit our website at www.breakthroughUSA.com and schedule an appointment. We'd love to hear from you and help you if we can.